I thought I would just share this with you. I did a little test here in my backyard. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I tried a little bird photography, just sitting out there watching the birds and enjoying watching their antics. And I thought I'd do a little test because I've often read that the 40-150 Pro is terrible or performs poorly with the MC-20, the 2x adapter, which would make it an 80-300 zoom. And I thought, well, let me try that and compare it with my 300mm Pro. Now, of course, the 300mm Pro, you would expect it to be better because it's a prime lens at a fixed focal length. But the 40-150 in its native state is an extremely sharp zoom. So I thought, well, let me try it with the MC-20 and see how it compares at 300mm at the same f-stop and ISO as the 300 Pro. So I put both cameras on a tripod, put the equipment together, and photographed these birds a minute or two apart. On the left, those three shots on the left there, those are, it's one shot highlighted there taken with my EM1 Mark III with the 300 Pro, uncropped as shot from about 25 feet away. So that's 300mm, which is the equivalent field of view of 600 on a full frame. Then over here is the same shot a few seconds later, taken with my EM1 Mark II, which is the same megapixel sensor, but with a 40-150 Pro at 300mm. Also at 5.6, ISO 400. And then these are virtual copies showing it zoomed in at 1:2 and then 1:1. So if I take both of these and get them like that and say let's look at both, there are the uncropped shots as taken. So you can see the birds are the same sort of relative size, no major differences that you can see there. So if I then say, okay, well let's go in at 1:2 and see what they look like now. They are the same, the same photograph cropped down to that magnification. And the 40-150 on the right there is not bad at all. You can see all the little feathers. It's not quite as sharp as the 300 Pro on the left, but way better than I was expecting. So yeah, the 300 Pro is definitely a bit sharper, but then you don't have the versatility of a zoom, and I suspect with something like Topaz, Sharpen AI, you could tighten this up a little bit too and get a very good result. Now if we go in at 1:1, there is the 300 Pro on the left, and there's the 40-150 on the right. And again, yes, you can see from 25 feet away, there definitely is more detail and everything in the 300 Pro. But again, you would expect that. It's a prime, and it's nearly $800-900 more than the 40-150. And the 40-150 on the right there, not bad at all. Lots of detail, little feathers in the bird, and not as sharp as that, certainly, but I think very acceptable. I'll do a test myself too and see what happens if I take it into Topaz and apply a little bit of sharpening. But these are very lightly processed images from Lightroom. And overall, I think it's pretty impressive the way it performs with the MC-20. So I thought I would just show that for those of you who may be interested and wonder how that adapter performs with the 40-150, just in a little backyard test.